everyone. Today's video is a viewer request video. I believe in my last video I asked for any suggestions that you all had. So I got some that were, I thought, really good, and so this is the first one of those. So let's get started. Ask for any suggestions, and one of them was to talk about any informative and helpful books or magazines that I use that, would help some of you. I don't have magazines featured in this at all, but I did pull out some books. Now I've got this in basically two different categories: general information, and then the other would be specific information. Now for me, I think with general information, it's always good to have a general purpose book. In particular, the one that I refer to is the Vogue Butterick Step-by-Step Guide to Sewing Techniques. This is what it looks like. Some of these books may not be available because I have a lot of sewing books, but I'm not buying a lot of sewing books. So as far as things that are current or out there right now that are available, I don't necessarily have those, but I can give you some types of books that I have, and then you can look for that if that's something that you're interested in or something that you don't have. I can also leave some suggestions, I think, in the description box below with some links to some books that I've either heard about that are good or have looked at or whatever. But I'm just showing you what I have, and then I can leave some other information for you down below. But I think it's good to have a general information book because that is the one that's going to tell you how to do different techniques and tasks in regular sewing. Like this one talks about how to add cuffs and how to do plackets, how to sew on buttons. All of that information, which you may or may not get in a pattern envelope as far as a description or as far as instructions how to do it. And some of these books will give you better techniques, maybe easier ways of doing something, maybe a faster way of doing something. So I think having some sort of a general technique book or a general idea book for sewing is a good thing. So I've got that one, and these, the Power Sewing Tool Box Volumes 1 and 2 from Sandra Betzina. I think these are really good. They give you a lot of tips and techniques, and she says not found in patterns, but a lot of times it's much easier ways of making pattern adjustment or sewing different things, different types of tools that you could use in order to complete something, get it done better and faster. So something like this is also very good. I put this under the general category because even though it has very specific things, it's for your general sewing. So another type of book that I would include under general information would be for fitting. And I include it in general because everyone, if you're sewing clothing, you're going to want it to fit. So whatever type of alterations you need to make to the pattern to get that pattern to fit for you, that is what a fit book is going to have. So I've shown you the one from Sarah Veblen before, and I also have fitting and pattern alteration. I don't think that this one is available now. Like I said, I've had these books for years, so I bought them. They were not really expensive, and I have them. So that's why I've included that. But get some sort of pattern fitting book, whether you go on eBay and get one of the older books from Nancy Zeman. I have a couple of those pattern fitting books, and they were not actually hard to find, and they were very inexpensive on eBay. So something like that would be great to have. But you do want to include something about fit. So you want to have something about your sewing technique, how to do different things, but then you also want to know how to make your clothes fit. So that is for me, that's like general information that you need for general sewing because it applies whether you're making pants, skirt, dress, or whatever. So that is that category. Now, as far as specific information, that for me is something that would be for the particular type of either material that you're working with or the particular type of garment that you want to sew. For example, I did a book review of this, Fit and Sew Custom Jeans, because I really enjoy making my own jeans. This is a great book. So if you're into jean making or you want to be into jean making, I would suggest this book. I really highly recommend it. I thought it was very good, and it's got a lot of great inspirational pictures in it as well for someone who is either a beginner with jean making or you want to be more advanced in something like that. Also, I have this book on sewing knits for real people. This is also a very good book with a lot of inspiration and ways to change things up and to get things to really fit you, and explaining different types of knits. So something like this is good because if you want to sew knits, or if you want to get better at it and want to understand how different needles and threads, all of that can affect the quality of the stitches on a knit fabric, something like this is also a good book to have. The last one that I'll show you specifically for a different type of garment is bra fitting. This is bra fitting or demystifying bra fitting and construction. This is from the founder of Orange Lingerie, this is a really good book. I use this and refer to this quite often when doing bra making. So something like this, if you're interested in getting into a specific type of garment, this is a very good book to have as well. Now, when I first got my serger, I really didn't know anything about serging, and I couldn't understand why the thread was always breaking. So I bought this, and it was great. ABCs of Serging. This is a very old book. I don't know when it was, probably in the 90s, it looks like from the pictures. But something like this can help in understanding. Yeah, this is from 1992. Something like this is very helpful in understanding a specific machine. So if you have a serger or if you have a cover stitch machine and you want to really understand it better, I would suggest getting a book. It doesn't necessarily have to be specific to that particular brand, but something that will tell you this is what this machine can do. This is why you might be having this issue if your threads are breaking or whatever the case is. Getting a book that is specific or geared towards that type of machine, whether it's a serger or a cover stitch, or even having a general sewing machine book if you're new to sewing and you don't, maybe you're not sure of all the different things that your machine can do. That would be a good idea to have a book like that. But those are the categories and the types of books that I would suggest. Like I said, I've had these books for years, and so I didn't want to say specific books because then a lot of people will get upset because some of these books may not be available. Some of these books, like this one, may be like, I think, over $100 now. It was not like that when I purchased it years ago. So, but these are the things I think to look for that I would say would be really helpful. Also, if some of you have libraries near where you live, go check out the library, see if they have some books that might be helpful. If you don't actually just want to purchase a book, or if you're not sure, but maybe the library has it, you can borrow it and see if it's something that you do want to purchase. That would be a good idea to save yourself some money on that. But basically, that is my video for you. So I wanted to give you some hints and some tips on what types of things to look for, but not necessarily look for this or this book. But like I said, I will leave some information in the description box below. And that is it. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate all the suggestions. And also, if you do have any more suggestions, always leave it in the comments because I do get to read all of those. But I will see you in the next video. So take care, guys. Bye-bye.